Welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where I'm going to talk about are you the best man you can be? And ladies, please stay tuned also, because it's going to pertain to you and your relationship with your husband or partner also.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where we're going to talk about, are you the best man you could be? Recently, the Gillette company, the razor blade company, put out an ad. And this ad starts off talking about the Me Too movement and some of the challenges that men face in today's society. A lot of stuff on the news. Men are being viewed at like monsters at some point. And I forget the term. It's a fairly new term to me, something masculinity, and we're just viewed by the media at this point as though we are less than. So this video or this commercial that Gillette puts out starts off and it says, Gillette, the best a man can get. And they have some of these clips and they're saying, men, we need to do better. And some of us are. And they show a clip of a father, saying affirmations in the mirror with his daughter. And they show a clip of a couple dads in a park as the kids start to wrestle on the ground and break it up and make them shake hands and hug. They show a group of teenagers, it looks like, from the inner city. One of the kids just saying, man, we need to do better as a people, and just uplifting his friends and saying we need to be better. And then it says, basically, Gillette, we support those of you who are doing better. We just need a lot more people to step up and do it. Now, listen to me. I am a big believer. When eBay first came out, the company eBay, people said it would fail because there's too many bad people in the world. Why would somebody send somebody money and expect it to come in the mail? And what eBay said is, listen, we believe that 98% of the people are inherently good, and because of that, this is going to be a success. It's those 2% that taint things. It's that one bad apple that spoils the whole bunch. I believe that the guys who are making poor decisions get sensationalized, right? Guy like what went on with Bill Cosby. R. Kelly right now, they have a big show that just came out. R. Kelly, Surviving R. Kelly. Because this is thrown into the forefront of our pop culture and the Me Too movement, it paints this dark cloud over men in general. What I believe the Gillette commercial was saying, because there's got a lot of backlash. If you look at it on YouTube, there's men saying, I'm never going to buy a Gillette razor again. As a matter of fact, I may never shave again because of this. There's really why would you paint all? Makes me believe that all men in this picture, which leads me to believe that they didn't necessarily watch the entire video. Because you can't encompass everybody. All means everybody. And they do have 3 or 4 instances that I described at the end of this video where they are showing men doing good things. But because those things aren't sensationalized, because, when you do a good deed or when I do a good deed, we don't necessarily throw it on Facebook. People ask me all the time, and I'll just say it on this podcast. Like, I had somebody call me out the other day, like, how do you give back? As if I don't. And I was like, just because I don't post it on Facebook and put it out to the masses doesn't mean that I don't give back. Doesn't mean that I haven't coached people that signed on for payment and realized maybe they weren't in a position to pay, and I continue to honor the contract without payment. Doesn't mean that the boxes behind me aren't 2,200 pair of socks that I just drove 5 hours to and from to pick up to give away to the homeless. It doesn't mean that I don't tithe at church. It doesn't mean, I don't think I need to sensationalize those things. And because we don't, as good men, and because they're not headlines, the headlines grab all the attention, and the headlines sit there and look as though men aren't doing their fair share. I'm here to say that I believe wholeheartedly there's a lot of good men doing a lot of good things out there. And maybe we should let the world know that these things are happening. The challenge is the world it's not sexy. It's not attractive. It's not controversial. And I believe that Gillette strategically made something controversial to wake those of us who do a lot of good things up and say, hey, speak up. Let people know that you're out there doing good things. Because the world needs to know that there's a lot of good men doing a lot of good things. And unfortunately, right now, the fake news, if you want to say it that way, sensationalizes things that sell ad space, and controversy and drama sell ad space. If I called up the news today and said, hey, I just drove 5 hours to and from to pick up 2,200 pair of socks to bring to the homeless to the inner city in Atlanta, they'd be like, yeah, so what? Did anybody die? No, nobody died. What's the big deal? Well, I'm helping the homeless. And they're going to want a better headline, right? That's not going to sell ad space. It's not going to grab attention. It's just like, oh, that's nice, and a pat on the back. But I'm sure there's 50 other things I can call them and say, and they would want to be all over it. And none of them have a positive spin. So good men out there, I know you're out there. Good men and women are out there doing amazing things. And it's not going to get recognized if you don't sit there and put it out. Part of the reason I do this podcast, part of the reason I share my thoughts, is this is me talking to myself. I need to put it out there more. There's so many things I've done over the last year behind the scenes, and you know what? Maybe people should know. But I don't do it to go viral. I don't do it to get more likes. I don't do it. I do these things because they're the right things to do. I have more than I need, and I should be giving back because I've been blessed. And I think that's the viewpoint of a lot of good men who are doing a lot of good things. I'm blessed, and I have the ability to give back. Therefore, I do. And, I don't know jack about parenting, but I know this. If you're a good man or a good woman and you're giving back, your kids will not do what you tell them to do. They're gonna do what they saw you do, good or bad. So if you want well-rounded, healthy-minded children to leave your home, be a well-rounded, healthy-minded adult, and they'll leave your home that way. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.